Right now, though, it will be completely blank. Project. Normally located along the bottom of the screen is a window for the project and console tabs, and sometimes game will be here too. The project tab should be open by default and is where you can see all the individual files associated with your project. Along the left portion of the window is the directory where you can select a folder, and on the right are the contents of that folder. Right now, your project only has one folder called Assets. And in that folder is nothing. This will be a useful window as you work because it will allow you to find sprites that you've created with other software and rename or delete files that you need for your game. Console. Next to the Project tab is the Console tab, figure 3 to 4. This is where you can get information regarding the status of Unity in your app. You'll be able to see debug information, crash reports, and errors, and this can help you identify issues in your code or work out just why your game won't run or compile. This will come in handy, but we won't need to worry about it for a little while, so keep Project visible in front of it for now. 42. Figure 3 to 4. The Hierarchy and Console. Hierarchy. Finally, one of the most important elements in the UI is the hierarchy, shown in figure 3 to 4, which is almost always found on the left of the scene view. Hierarchy shows a list of all the game objects in your scene at any given time, and when you select one of them the scene view will center on it. It will also be opened in the inspector. This lets you quickly find specific game objects to make edits, and it's also the only way you can select, and visible, objects like checkpoints. The hierarchy can also be very handy when you want to select multiple objects, maybe all of your collectibles, for example, and has a useful search utility for quickly retrieving specific items. Keeping a tidy hierarchy is good practice and will help you to work a lot more quickly and efficiently going forward. 43. Housekeeping. I recommend that you leave the windows in their default configuration in most cases. They have been arranged like that for a reason. It works, and this will make it easier for you to follow along with the instructions in this book. The console or others might not be in precisely the same place, but we'll mainly be using the scene, game, project, and inspector windows for now. Don't worry about the rest. But if you find that the UI feels cramped or you just don't like the way it's arranged at any point, you can hover the mouse pointer over any of the dividing lines to change the relative sizes. You can also drag tabs from one window to another, close them entirely, or bring them back using the options in the window menu. You may have already noticed that there are additional windows that you can open, found in the window menu, including the likes of Audio Mixer, Animator, and Sprite Packer. Some of these we'll be using later, but for now you don't need to worry about them. You should be able to do mostly everything with the hierarchy, scene, project, game, asset store, console, and inspector windows. Getting your toes wet with objects and scenes. That's enough theory, time to get practical. To really understand how these windows work and what you need to do to get started, the best thing to do is to start building something. Once you do that, you will see firsthand how everything works together and how you'll manage your workflow once you get developing. Adding sprites. To get started then, let's begin by adding our first game object. That is going to be a simple 2D square. Unlike working with 3D objects, there are no simple shapes for you to insert in 2D. That means that any 2D objects you introduce must be created first as sprites. Creating a square is simple enough, though. We can literally start a new MS Paint file, resize it to 50 by 50 pixels, and then just fill the space with a single block color. Save that as a PNG file and drag it from wherever you saved it into your project folder. Call it square for simplicity. You can see my square in figure 3 to 5.